ferocious comeback for the Utah Jazz has the game in hand. And then it doesn't. The Jazz lose to the Suns in overtime in Phoenix. We're talking about it next on POSTCAST.
You are Locked On Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, this is a crazy one for narratives tonight because the Phoenix Suns were on the verge of their fourth straight loss. 2 of them to Portland, 1 of them to Utah. And with word that their locker room was quote toxic and all the rest, and the Jazz had outscored them 22-5 to close the game. The Jazz had scored on their final 10 possessions of the night. The Jazz had scored, and there had not been a stop for 5 minutes and 30 seconds by the Phoenix Suns. I mean, they collapsed, and the Jazz came at them relentlessly and pulled off what was going to be a more stunning win than against the Golden State Warriors. And then, after Lauri Markkanen made both free throws, and there was a debate of whether or not he should have made the second one, with 0.9 seconds left, Mike Budenholzer diagrams a play that has Grayson Allen flaring over the top. He catches and shoots for a game-tying 3, and then overtime was all Phoenix. There is a lot to digest in this one, Ron.
Yeah, there is. Give the Jazz so much credit, first of all, for that run that they had there in the fourth quarter to put themselves in a chance to win the basketball game. That's what you want to do on the road. But then it comes down to execution of seconds, minutes, and the Jazz didn't get it done. This is something I think, well, we had this conversation.
Yeah, we've talked. This has actually been, we have ongoing debates on various things, and one of ours for a long time has been going on. The other night, Victor Wembanyama with 2.9 seconds left against Atlanta missed that exact circumstance. Atlanta didn't have a timeout because Quinn had challenged that play and lost his final timeout. And then Trae Young took a 3-quarter court shot that wasn't actually really close. So that's been an ongoing conversation. So I think we'll see if Will Hardy comments on it. They said on the TV broadcast that they showed Will telling Lauri to make that free throw. There's a strong argument not to. I think this is just the best way to say it. From a Jazz standpoint, though, I think, Ron, this is what's interesting to me is they now have kind of back-to-back nights in the back pocket of like, hey, we're down double digits with 3 or 4 minutes left, and we're not going to quit. We actually came back and probably should have had 2 of the largest comebacks of the year. It was their 11-point comeback with 3 minutes left. It was the largest comeback of the season by anyone this year in that time frame. They were really on the verge of a second one. It's a pretty amazing kind of thing for this team to know that they can do and pull off.
It's remarkable. And the energy level that you can generate from something like that carries over into the next ball game. And you're absolutely right. I mean, you're looking at a certain amount of minutes on the floor, and you outscore a team 22 to what, something like that. And all of a sudden, you're in the basketball game and give yourself a chance to win. That's David. That's something that I don't know how to put this, but the players can live on that. I mean, they know that they can pull something off like that. You start monitoring minutes. You start monitoring how the possessions and how you can get things done. And I'm just rambling here, but if you understand what I mean, it's just the confidence level just continues to build.
Let's zero in on the play of Isaiah Collier. Because frankly, his first quarter was dominant with 6 assists. His first half was dominant with 10 assists. And then he closed the game making monster plays offensively as a driver for the second straight game, coast to coast in the clutch.
That was the big play right there.
And then he hit what should have been the game winner. It would put us up 4 with 6 seconds left. In a really in an impressive kind of under duress, forced up a shot as the shot clock was about to expire as he worked the clock down correctly. 15 points, 13 assists on 15 shots. I mean, there's still some real offensive efficiency issues. No free throw attempts. 1 of 4 from 3. His free throw shooting is not good. But this kid's got a lot of pieces to work with to make him an NBA player.
It really does. And for just about face of what we saw at the beginning of the year. And we've talked mentioned so many times about what minutes does to a player out there on the floor and the confidence. And I think the fact that his minutes has increased, the confidence level that the coaching staff has in him has gotten better and better. Because at the beginning of the year, the way he was shooting the basketball, I just thought, well, he needs G League.
Yeah.
You know, and right now you can see he's ready.
He did. He had one game in the G League, and it's him changing the entire season. I did it. 35 in the G League and had a whole rhythm to it. Seemed to ignite it. His speed is. His speed and his ability to get by guys is elite.
It was like he made up his mind when he got the basketball in the paint that he was going to outrun everyone in front of him and get to the rim. And he does that. And gets the layup.
The other part of this story tonight, Walker Kessler, 22 rebounds, 19 points. The final number, the Jazz had, I think, 22 second chance points in the second half of the game. I don't know what the final number of second chance points was tonight.
Second chance points
got 20. That's
20.
just through the fourth quarter.
I know. I don't have the final, but I'm about to say.
I have a final box for this.
I don't even think that's the final box. Is it?
Yeah.
37, 25.
Okay.
So 27 second chance points.
Yeah. They didn't have any overtime. Walker tonight had 9 offensive rebounds. And I thought just the overall energy level that he's brought the last few games has been incredibly elite. I mean, I think he's finding out how hard he can play right now.
He's third year in the league.
Yep.
Yes. We'll see what happens toward the end of the year, whether he makes any awards.
All defensive team?
Yeah.
Probably should be considered for it. I don't know if I get it. We're not very good defensively. It'd be strange considering where we rank defensively. But maybe. I think he's the top 10 defensive, top 15 defensive player of the league at this point. But it's
that high? I'd put him in the top 10.
Top 10? Okay. Yeah. I mean, and that's a good note for us, right? Because at this time last year, Walker was
struggling.
Yeah, he was not having success. And so for him to break through like this, I think is a good sign for us of like, hey, well, what little things is Keontae he can go in year 3 and add. Same thing with Bryce Sensabaugh, maybe even Caleb Henrich is a step behind that. But then also, like I said, Collier, which still has some major jumps to have. Kyle Filipowski, by the way, had a double-double tonight with 11 points and 11 rebounds. Really, really skilled offensively. I didn't see him have problems defensively. So he was very good. Heck of a night. Jazz led by 10 at the end of one. It was tied at the half. They trailed going in the fourth quarter. They allowed 75 points in the second and third quarters combined, and then really had this game won. And then and just an incredible finish. I want to go back to that. The Jazz scored on 10 straight possessions to close the game. It's pretty unheard of.
And I get the feeling that Phoenix thought they had this game won. And, again, you just don't give up. There's minutes on the clock and the importance of the three-point shot. I mean, what that does if you put your back in the basketball or you can take it out of reach by making three-point shots and Jazz just got it done there. There's not a lot to say about this. It's just that Jazz made a mistake and then that moving forward.
All right, Ron Boone, reliability pluses tonight.
I don't have the final. Mine does not have the final, but even with that, I think it's kind of easy with Collier and Kessler.
Yep.
There for sure. And how about Cal? Filipowski.
Yep.
Give him one there as well.
Anybody, John Collins vote in there?
John Collins could get one. I think Lauri could get one there as well. But Keontae.
Tim Kempton coming by to say goodbye.
I noticed Tim has this big winter coat on.
Yeah, you have to have a winter coat up here all the time, right? You have it. It's freezing. How we get the coldest studio in the league is in Phoenix. I have no idea. Yeah, the wind. Yeah, the wind. Right. Yeah, you have to foul. Because you have to foul for two reasons. One, because even if you miss it and you get the rebound, then you just foul them before they call timeout. You just want to do that. And if they do call timeout, then there's 0.4 seconds left instead of 0.9. Yeah.
Okay, let's go with our front line.
Okay.
Collier and Filipowski.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Collins, Markkanen, Kessler, Collier, Filipowski.
Gotcha.
That is your reliability squares. By the way, Blake says, I was wearing a sweater. I was professional. There really is this air conditioner duct.
Notice I have a coat on.
That comes down on us and literally brought the jacket to wear during the broadcast. Yeah, and it's my new gear. Is it my new gear? Where is it?
Oh, that's nice one. Yeah, nice.
Okay, have a good night, everybody. We'll be back with you tomorrow from the Intuit Dome. Thanks for tuning in. This has been POSTCAST with Locke, Ron Boone. Have a great night. If you have not followed us, please subscribe. Follow the bell button on YouTube.